Good morning, friends of Wildland Fire. Darren Clable here, your state fire meteorologist. Today's fire weather situation report is going to be valid for today, Friday, September 2nd through Monday, which is Labor Day, September 5th, 2022. Let's take a look at our overall conditions. There's nothing super critical going on, but I just want to make note of some dry conditions that we are seeing. ERCs right now across the Black Hills and southwestern South Dakota, by and large, above the 80th percentile. Even seeing a couple above the 90th percentile and even the 97th percentile. So our fuels are drying out. A lot of that fuel dryness has been driven by the recent heat, but it's also been driven by a lack of precipitation. Here's our observed 7-day precipitation in inches. By and large, dry over a lot of the state. You know, the area of Cheyenne River Reservation that has been one of the drier areas of the state has been getting some precip, but by and large along and south of the interstate, dry conditions. A couple areas seeing a little bit of precip, but not a lot of precip. So we have dry fuels out there. They continue to dry with the lack of precipitation that we have been seeing. So what's causing all this and what's going to bring us the heat in the coming days? Well, this right here, this is an upper level ridge. This upper level ridge is going to be bringing us all of the heat. That's the heat that California, Oregon, Washington are seeing right now. Some extreme heat, bringing up some big fires across those areas. That ridge is going to progress eastward with time, settling over South Dakota in the coming days. So that's why we're going to be seeing this big dome of heat coming over our area. The other big thing about the ridge, no precip. This is big dry air in here, so we're not going to see any chances of precip in our forecast for the at least the next week. So our forecast variables today, highs in the upper 70s to maybe 90 across the Nebraska border down there. RHs right here, 15 to 35%, 15% up in this area, 35% over in this area, and we have kind of north to northeasterly winds across the state. Those north-northeast winds, by and large, 10 to 20 miles per hour, but we could see some gusts up to 30 miles per hour. So here's modeled wind gusts, the strongest winds across kind of central South Dakota with those northerly winds, northeasterly winds gusting up to potentially 30 or 32 miles per hour. Even across southwestern South Dakota, we could see some northeasterly winds, again, gusting 28 to 30 miles per hour. Not quite red flag criteria, but we're getting close. Tomorrow, Saturday, highs from 75 to maybe 90. Hottest part of the state is going to be near the Montana border and across southwestern South Dakota. Tomorrow, we're going to see RHs from 15% across the western part of the state, all the way to 40% across the eastern part of the state. Really, it's an easterly to southeasterly wind that we're looking at tomorrow. But again, these winds are going to be 15 to maybe 30 miles per hour, gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Those gusts that we'll see are shown here. The strongest winds are going to be across the northwestern quarter of the state. So we're definitely talking about Harding County, Butte County, Meade County, portions of Pennington County, all the way up into Perkins and western Corson County. Those are the threatened areas. So the Short Pines, the Custer Gallatin up there, some stronger winds, potential for red flag criteria up there. But again, it's going to be really close. Red flag criteria for western South Dakota being gusts over 25 miles per hour with an RH of less than 15% for more than 3 hours. Going into Sunday, Sunday is going to be the warmest day of the weekend proper, anywhere from the 70s east to the mid-90s west. Again, hottest across northwestern and southwestern South Dakota, and of course the Black Hills, higher elevations, not nearly as much heat. Southeasterly winds once again, and again, these southeasterly winds are going to be strong enough to cause concern. 10 to 25 miles per hour, maybe gusts up to 35 miles per hour in places. Strongest gusts are going to be across, kind of central and northwestern South Dakota again, but even gusts down here from 25 to 30 miles per hour are possible, and from 30 to even 40 miles per hour possible up across the northwestern part of the state. RH is going to be right on that, critical threshold of that 15%. But, if these gusts do in fact start to pan out, it would not surprise me to see fire weather watches or red flag warnings start to take place. We're dry. We're just dry. Monday, even maybe a touch warmer than Sunday for your Labor Day holiday. Again, temperatures anywhere from 80 to close to 100. Across northwestern South Dakota, that is definitely a possibility. Our relative humidity anywhere from 10% across northwestern South Dakota is a possibility, all the way to 40% across eastern South Dakota. And once again, most of the state will see southeasterly winds, although there's some kind of a dry line trough or something here with northwesterly winds behind it. So there is some uncertainty in the forecast. I mean, this is a 3 or 4 day forecast. We got some time to continue to look at the data, but just recognize that there might be some changes in the wind over western South Dakota as we approach Monday. But again, it's going to still be hot and dry. And if the forecast pans out as it's showing right now, those southeasterly winds across eastern and central South Dakota could gust from 25 to 35 miles per hour. Looking out, again, our 7-day precipitation, none expected. Kind of a dry forecast. Look at our happy little state in there. Nothing but white, no precipitation expected anywhere. So summary, it's going to be a hot and dry period. Our overnight RH recoveries, anywhere from 40 to 65%. The best overnight recoveries are going to be over eastern South Dakota. By and large, western South Dakota is really going to be in that 40 to 45% range, and that is inclusive of the Black Hills. The fuels are curing down seasonally, or they're already cured, and ERCs are on the rise. The key here is wind, though. If we don't get wind, fire's not going to move readily across the landscape. But if we're starting to see those gusts, as in that forecast, and this is just one forecast model I was showing, but if we start to see those forecast gusts exceed 25 miles per hour, we could be looking at some critical fire weather conditions. So keep your eye on that. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and y'all have a great holiday weekend.